elitism, hierarchy, racism, and rugby. When the words all-boys school comes to mind, these are some things that most will think of. Not my parents. My destiny was chosen the day my mom met our neighbors and had the prestige of being at an all-boys school, the lineage of a brotherhood, the benefits of a solid community of people that will be my closest partners in all things academic, sport, and cultural for the next 11 schooling years. As a young boy, I got placed into one of these prestigious schools, and my future was changed forever. There's this ongoing debate as to whether single-sex schools prepare the individual for the world that we're going into. Would I send my children to a single-sex school? And I'm going to focus in my speech on the advantages and the disadvantages for all boys schools. What we here at AISCT can offer to these schools and what we can take from these schools to best prepare the individual for the world that we're going into. I arrived into grade R, the equivalent to kindergarten, standing out from the rest, being one of very few students of color at that school, and yet I left that school as an all-boys, all-boy. Copy and paste from the rest. Now I know not all start up like me, but at the end of the day, once you matriculate from an all-boys school, you leave as an all-boys, all-boy. Conforming to a group or a network of people that grew up and experienced the exact same situations as you did, a brotherhood like no other. Now, before going on with my speech, I know maybe a few of you in this audience might have seen articles in the early 2000s about allegations of hazing and violence towards the young grades by matrics at all boys schools. And many of you who saw those articles might have been filled with negative connotations about all boys schools and didn't go to any of them. Tonight, I'm not just an advocate for single-sex schools or an advocate for co-ed international schooling. I'm simply here to outline the advantages and the disadvantages, the good and the bad of all boys schools, and to share my experiences and my idea of what the best elements of both schools could possibly be brought together and to prepare the individual to be the best that they could possibly be in the world out there. As an old boy, I have my fair share of the good and the bad from being in an all boys school. From the abuse of power to the conforming, to the strong community and opportunities. I experienced nearly every single thing a student in an all boys school could experience at my time. As a student of color, I had my few encounters with racism in my school. Now it differs from person to person, but allegedly, majority of students who were students of color at single-sex schools have experienced racism in their schools. For example, in my grade 8 year, there was a teacher who was asked to resign after many years of racism was uncovered in his classroom. Now, previous to that, many students came up to the school board and talked about their experiences with racism in his class, whether they witnessed it or faced it, and the school ignored it, wiping it under the rug, until the media got a hold of it, and the school was forced to remove it. This just shows how old-fashioned these old boys schools run and these single-sex schools, ignoring all forms of racism and prejudice. Instead, caring more if a boy is just late to class or if hair is not correct length. I heard of allegations of matrics, grade 12 students abusing their power and seniority in the school, forcing younger grades to do things against their will. For example, spending huge sums of money or being physically assaulted. Now, at the start of my speech, I mentioned that you leave an all-boys school as an all-boys, all-boy. Copy and paste from the rest. Now, it depends on when you enter the school or at what age. But no matter what, once you graduate, you're just like the person next to you. You act the same, you sound the same, and you talk and you think the same. Conforming to a system or network that will forever change you, for better or for worse. Now, it might seem like I'm only talking about the negatives, but here are some positives. A community like this can often be seen pulling and growing together through hardships and experiences spent together, whether spent playing sports or far from their families in the boarding houses, or at school events, or simply just spending time with friends in their daily houses. spending nearly every day of the week with each other, creating a brotherhood like no other, making lifelong friendships and memories that once you graduate, you'll never forget. To those people who you are making memories with, your brothers at school, becoming your business partners into the future, and each and every one of you being connected on an old boys school network, and being able to communicate with one another at any given time without any restriction. This is a lifelong community that will be sustained for generations to come. So why am I giving you this information? Why am I just going on and on and on about my time at school? Well, first and foremost, this information I'm giving you is just to give an insight of what it's like to be in an all-boys school. When I came up with this topic to talk about it, I did my research and searched for people who talked about this topic, and I couldn't find anything. Now, I might not search hard enough. But the fact that the majority of our top schools in this country are single-sex schools, and yet the majority of the population have barely any idea of what it's like to be at a single-sex school, just didn't sit well with me. Secondly, I also give you this information to give context to what my main aim of the speech is. So what can AISCT take from these schools? My main thing I want AISCT to take from what I said and from what my previous school was like is to build a strong community within the school. As AISCT is a 25-year-old school, it's relatively young to the majority of schools in South Africa. So what I think AISCT could take from a school that's been around since the 19th century is to build a strong community that leaves the school boundary, that connects a network of scholars to be able to just chat with one another, whether they, for example, move to a new city and they know no one in the city, but the entire school community is connected with one another. And so if there's someone there, you guys can connect and reconnect with each other, or for business reasons. And you and your former schoolmates can reach and strive for success with one another. I feel as though a strong community in school just makes the school feel more whole and welcoming. Now, what can AISCT offer to single-sex schools? The exposure that you can receive at the school is unlike any other. The fact that a university representative comes every other week and you can go to them and talk to them and plan out your future, whereas other people have to spend hours and hours watching videos, researching on websites and asking around to cater for which university will be the best for them, when I can simply go at a lunch break and take time out of my day just to talk to a university representative is something that you won't find at most, if any, schools in South Africa. The diversity of nationality at the school, allowing you to speak with people from each walk of life, from every corner of the planet, is something that you can use to learn from one another, to experience these new cultures, and to get to know people around the world, and to diversify yourself. The amount of niche subjects that you can only find at the school, like public speaking, modern United Nations, can help you gain the skills that will help you further yourself in life, and you can use it in any particular situation. These are some opportunities that you'll only find at the school. So in conclusion, the point of all of this really is to see what institution of education will best prepare the individual for their future. And my ideal school will embody characteristics of both single-sex schools and co-ed international schooling, with the exposure and opportunities raised by co-ed international schooling, and the community and network created by single-sex schooling. I believe if you use both components of those two schools, that will be the best learning environment for a student to be the best that it could possibly be, to positively impact the world. Thank you.